Hi and welcome. My name is Moses and I'm going to take you through this course. And we're going to learn about micro business. Micro business, business that is run by one person. And in so doing, it is solopreneur. And we're going to discuss how you're going to earn through your skills. So for this course, we are going to use freelancing and solopreneurship interchangeably. And this lesson is going to cover the overview of the field and why it is relevant to you as an individual. And we are going to, discuss the definition. We are going to have the definition of terms, why it matters, and the application of knowledge from different sources and areas for better positioning as a solopreneur. So let's start by defining. And the first thing we are going to define is the element of freelancing. And according to my years of experience in this field, my definition is freelancing is the idea of providing services at a fee without being an internal employer of any company, any business, or a direct employer of that person. And you charge per work done or per project done, and which means that you charge for what exactly for what you provide, and which means that the more you work the better you get paid. And why is it important? Because you get unmatched growth potential since you work with multiple clients, and you can expand your earning potential as much as possible. And then the third thing is that you build authority by sharpening your skills as you venture into different markets and understand how your clients, uh, what your clients need, and understand them even better. So starting a entrepreneurship journey is as much about mindset as it is about skills and strategies. And many people dream of working for themselves, but only a few take the leap, and even fewer succeed. Why is this the case? This is because building a successful solopreneur business requires more than just technical expertise. It demands resilience, adaptability, and growth-oriented mindset. And so, we are going to explore what truly means to be a solopreneur, the pros and cons of this path, and how to cultivate the mindset needed to thrive. And by the end, you'll have a clear understanding of whether solopreneurship is right for you and how to set yourself up for success. And without further ado, let us look at why is it a good venture for you to start. One, you have the ability to learn more, to earn more. And this is because you can leverage on time available and scale it with your clients, which means that you have more control what you can and cannot do. The second thing is there is good technology, which makes it easier to systematize tasks which would have not been possible in the past. For example, you can use ClickUp to manage your projects and clients. In fact, the ClickUp now can be used as a CRM. HubSpot, you can use HubSpot as a customer relationship management software, MailerLite for automation, and ClickFunnels for your sales process. And then for the third thing is that there is a paid class for each, and because every profession has the business side of it, and you must learn it. And so every artist has a potential to be a teacher. So freelancing is a lucrative way of working. It's more than 1.5 billion people who are currently self-employed. So entrepreneurship and freelancing, it empowers. It is being done currently by 1.5 billion people in the world, and according to a study by Statistica, there are 6 reasons as to why people tend to take this route. And one is they want to save an extra cash, so they want to do this on part time. Also, there is a need to cover gaps in changes in income. So maybe you did not have a family, and then your family you get married, and then you get some kids, and so your expenses increase, and so you need to earn more. And so being a solopreneur, having your side gig helps you cover and offset the additional expenses. Also, the third thing is you want to be control of your own schedule, and you also want to be your own boss. You don't want anybody bossing you around and having a fixed schedule. You have a place and time that you have to be there and work. Most people don't want that and account for around 35% of them. And others want to do side hustles, which means that they want to do this on part-time and also for fun. And like 20, more than around 25%, they opt for this route because they don't have access to local job opportunities. And so solopreneurship becomes their only shot at becoming successful or offsetting um, their bills. And so the reality of solopreneurship is that not all freelancing or not all gigs pay the same. Some pay more while others pay less. And as you can see in this chart over here, you can see that the more a person is technical, like a programmer or a developer, or data analyst and CRM managers, the more they get paid. Or they can charge more for their services since it cannot be done by many people. But if you have less skills, or the job that you are doing has low barrier to entry, like writing and editing, transcribing, bookkeeping, and photography, your margin of earning is relatively low. For example, for writers and editors, they have an average annual income of 42k, 42k per month, per year. And so you have to understand that. And there is a difference between a solopreneur and a freelancer and an entrepreneur. And the main difference is that whereas solopreneur is someone who runs a business uh, on their own entirely, uh, an, an entrepreneur builds a business with the goal of scaling and hiring more employees. And therefore, the difference between these two is that on the side of the solopreneur, the business is run by one single person and often with a focus on building long-term relationships and personal brand and building a personal brand. But a freelancer typically works on a short-term projects, and this includes freelance writers, freelance designers, and freelance developers. But a solopreneur can range from the individual, freelance writers and freelancers who want to do this on long term, uh, and include consultants, coaches, and digital product sellers. So you understand that there is a correlation between the three, but they run almost on the same bandwidth. And there is a way that all these concepts began, and this concept is heavily influenced by what happens in the world and in first world nations. For example, in the recent past, we can start by the 2008 recession, where there was a global market crisis and many people were laid off their jobs and many companies were closed, and therefore these people went home. They did not have anything. They used their savings, and they had to offset their bills. So what happened is that between 2009 and 2011, 2012, there was a boom in a new market of the age of the internet, where there was a way that people um, people offset their financial crisis by looking for gigs online, and this was even more propelled by the presidential campaigns, which used social media campaign, and even at that time um, propelled businesses to time pace their services. And then the second came with the rise of the second recession and the remote working. And this was brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. And this was this was the best thing I could say happened to the world economy, because it opened a venture that was not there. And given the technology of remote working, there was communication, teleconferencing. Um, the COVID-19 gave a rise of another economy that could be used by solopreneurs, and people could leverage on these systems to create something for themselves. And so, uh, then what next? Because we are here after second session. What next? One, you need to have these three complementary skills. You need to have email copywriting skills, long form copywriting, and storytelling skills. And for email copywriting, you need these skills because you need to attract new clients and understand the attention psychology of your audience. And this is specifically important because you need to communicate your offers, you need to build your authority, you need to convince people to buy from you. And the best way is cold emailing and designing email sequences. And this is specifically also very important in getting and warming up your leads. And we're going to see this in client acquisition lesson, which is going to happen later on. The next one is long form copywriting, which sets you apart by showing how knowledgeable you are in your area. You need this if you want to last longer, because the more you talk or you cover a topic in a long form format, like a blog post or a pillar post, now people are able to see that you know what you're talking about. In real life situation, you can see that when you're talking to a person on a topic, the more a person talks, the more you realize that they either know what they are talking about, or they don't have an idea of what they are talking about, or they just have superficial knowledge on what they are talking about or covering, and they're not worth listening to. The third element, or the third skill, is storytelling. And people tend to relate with stories, and your ability to help them relate will make you more trustable as a person. And because people love interacting with other people than brands. And in the recent past, you can see that most popular brands like Nike, Gillette, all their campaigns, they are more personalized. There is a personality behind it. And for personal brands, they want to have they want to be like corporates or organizations, and that's where they go wrong. If you're everything that you do, you're supposed to have the personality behind it, the story behind it. So the ability to tell a story that is relatable to the client or the pain points that they are having puts you on a much more advantageous position than a person who doesn't know how to communicate the same. That being said, let's look at the challenges that a solopreneur has. And the first one is competition. Competition is very stiff, especially if your field requires you to be a professional and have redundant procedures. And depending on your skill level or the industry that you are in, there is a proportion or how many of you are there according to statistics. And in this chart, this was provided by Statistica, and this was in 2023. Yeah, 2023. And according to a report by FreshBooks, 2023 report, the number of solopreneurs in the US is expected to reach 86.5 million by 2027, which is up from the current 76.1 million according to their report in 2022. So art and design makes most of the freelancers. I don't know if it is employability or what, but it makes almost 80%. And then it is followed by the marketing, construction, personal wellness services, finance and business operations. The more technical the work is, the lesser the number of freelancers or solopreneurs. Why? Because either most of these tasks or these freelancers are already employed, or The ones who are already there, they don't have a way of doing it as a business, or don't have the know-how. So they tend to be absorbed into the already job market that is there. And therefore, there is an indirect relationship, uh, inverse relationship between how much you can charge or how much you can earn and the number of people that are there. That is prevalence of personnel. And another issue with working, and you can see with the numbers, is that there is the issue of isolation, because you will be working alone, and you might miss the warmth that comes with working with a team or structure of an office environment. And then you're responsible for everything from marketing, sales, operations, and customer service, which makes one to have a lot of workload. And if you don't have these skills, most of you fail. That's why you see art and design, they make the most of the numbers, because they have more time and scalability, and even the market is more open to them. There is lower barrier to entry, so you don't have to learn more. But the more technical you are, so you have to do the actual work and learn these skills. Then I don't think most people have the knowledge and know how to do that. And the third one is income variabilities, because earnings can't, they're not consistent, especially at the beginning. Because one month you might earn 10,000, and the next month you might be struggling even to land a single client. And as a person, if you're working alone as a solopreneur, it is harder for you to grow with a team, and people want to feel the security, the job security, and therefore they prefer to work in a more inclusive environment where they're employed, they have financial incentives, healthcare covered, and therefore they don't see this as a lucrative venture. So that is the common pitfalls, or the challenges that a solopreneur will experience in his journey. But there is the other side of it, which overwhelms the disadvantages. And the flexibility, the first thing is that you have the flexibility, which you set your own schedule and work from anywhere. The second one is that you have the autonomy to make all the decision without needing any approval, and you don't have to employ anyone or rent an office space, because you can operate with just a laptop and internet connection. And the last one is direct profit. You keep all the earnings after expenses and taxes. So if, for example, you charge 5,000 for a project, that is your income. There you just have to minus the costs like software, and the operation cost, that is administration cost, like marketing and other issues. So um, how can you do this? So you can do this by first defining your audience, and you define by creating a customer profile for each demographic for better outreach and positioning. So I want you to have at least three, but make sure that for each it is outlined in a way that is easier for you to understand and execute. So let's look at an example. So one example is this one, for example. So the person is called Daniel Garego. He is 35 years, lives in Nairobi. He is a front-end engineer, married but have no kids, and his annual income is 70K. So from there are other demographic um, qualities that you have to include. So the first is interest. So this person is interested in traveling, cooking, sports, reading books, and psychology. In other words, these are his hobbies. And Daniel has challenges in finding time for personal life, and has difficulty with staying connected with friends and family. And what steps can he take to fix that challenge? So he has to he purchases a time management application. And the goal for this is to have a product that is easy to use and will help him in managing his time. He is going to have more time. He will be staying connected, and he wants to accomplish many personal and professional goals by improving time management. So the motivation behind taking the steps is that he wants to get more organized, and the frustration that he can get is buying an application that is going to have a messy navigation, or he can't decide on the plan. And the sources of information this person gets information is from social media, newspapers, online news platform, word of mouth. And any other additional information is that he wants to accomplish many professional and personal goals by improving his time management. So this is one of a very comprehensive um, customer profile for a person who is looking forward to design an application for time management, or is a consultant or a coach in personal development in areas of time management. So I need you to have like 3 customer profiles, depending with which demographic that you are going to target. So for this is that 5-year-old, which who is already employed. What if the person was not employed but wants to have more money and organize his time, because time is equals to money? So how can the person get help? Is still the same field but different demographic, which means also the product is going to be priced differently. So let's continue to the market size. So the market size currently is 2.91 billion. That is freelancing. And as a freelancer, the lowest that you can earn is 42K. That is available net earnings. And market share annually is 10 million. So it depends on how well you position yourself and how much you are willing to take and put yourself out there. So this one is also a good metric to prove the concept that you can do this and have an income at the end of the day. So as you do that, there is a direct there is competition, and these are the hindrances that you are going to have even as you start your career. And there's a list of direct competitors, indirect competitors. So for direct competitors, you're going to directly compete with professionals in the employed job market. So these are people who are doing exactly what you are doing, but they are employed. So they are working for a person. And these people, they are looking forward to have career growth in their professional work. And so they are more motivated. They are getting paid. First of all, they are getting paid. So they are also extremely motivated to work even harder and have more market penetration. And the second one is already established businesses which are already doing what you are doing. Let's say, for example, you are building, you are offering business IT services. So they are already established businesses with already established clientele and authority in whatever you are doing, and therefore it will be hard for you to compete with these people because they already have the money, they have the already established market, and they have resources and personnel to work and leverage. So what can you do about that? So you just identify one area that they are not doing right, or one area that you are very good at, and then do that for your clients and provide services that are unique to your skill. That way, nobody can compete with your uniqueness or your pivoting. And the next set is of indirect competitors, who are young professionals, foreign markets, and government. For new and young professionals, these are people who are just getting started. And so they are going to charge less, they're going to provide a mediocre job or entry level job. And the foreign markets, these are competitors from all over the world, and they set the pace for the client expectations, the pricing, the standard pricing, and they also set the pace as to which the client are going to expect the project to be delivered, the quality of the work, and the features and workability. and the justification of your price point. The government provides all the incentives, all the policies, regulations, so you have to be legally compliant. Um, and so for this, you have to be, uh, you just need to understand yourself and who you are talking to, your clientele, and make sure you have a legal system behind you so that you don't get caught up. And what is your competitive advantage as a solopreneur? Your competitive advantage is built into four areas. So you can charge as per person, a client, job, or membership models. So you have a flexible pricing option. The second one is that you have seamless integration because of the current technological advancements. So whether you're on mobile, web, or tablet, your way of working is formatted for all. So you can work either on a web, on a mobile, or on a tablet. Then there is no huge initial capital, since there is almost little to no cash that you are going to need to start. So most jobs or most fields, you only require you and the internet to get started. And to top it all, there's a variety of clients available suited for different skill levels. Whether you are an entry level, either you are skilled or unskilled, you can learn a skill and provide the services. There is always a price point for each skill or each job that you're going to take. And therefore, there is a available market for anyone who wants to do this. So, how do you approach the competition since you are going to start? There are three ways. One, the first way is to lower your cost. So at the start, your plans should have significantly lower costs because you don't have many startup costs which are associated with the production. You don't have people who are you are going to pay, and so uh, since you are doing it as one person, you have the flexibility of lowering your costs uh, and lowering your prices so that you can attract more, and lowering your cost because you don't have to, for example, rent a place or buy machinery. So the startup cost is relatively cheap, and so have your plans have, have your plans uh, lowered in price. So then you should pick an area, niche down on that area, and be known exactly for that. So generalization will not help you here. So pick one area and be known for that. And then you need to have great optimization, which means that your services can be accessed from anywhere, even on weak connection. So this opens you to a global market. You're not tied down to one specific location. So in summary, you don't need a lot to get started. So, and we have also seen that freelancing is here to stay. You don't need to have a skill to sell to make money, and the money earned is a proof of work done. Money uh, is a medium of transfer or evaluation or valuation of or transfer of value. So in each cash is directly proportional to the amount of problem that you have solved. And therefore, there is no quick way of getting rich. So you have to work your ass off and get work done. So the second one, another thing is professional positioning is everything because it puts you on a scale, which means that the well, if you're well positioned as a professional, you can charge more, get more clients coming your way, and have a high level of convincing people. And we have also seen that all freelancing doesn't pay the same. Some pay more, some pay less. And email copywriting, long form copywriting, and storytelling are cornerstone for better and future-proofed freelancing careers. So, apart from that, you need to have a why. and your why is the reason why you are starting this journey. And if you keep your if you get demotivated, because sometimes it can get messy when you're starting and you're doing those mistakes. Sometimes you can go up to 6 months without getting one client when you're starting, and your why will keep you motivated through tough times. It will keep you motivated. Okay, and so uh, I need you to define this on your own. So I want you to, for example, tell me, what is your why? Why do you want to be a solopreneur? Is it because you value freedom and flexibility? Is it because you want to increase your earnings? Is it because you want to have time freedom and place freedom? Or are you willing to learn, adapt, and persist until you make it? Because entrepreneurship is not for everyone, but it is for those who embrace the challenges and opportunities. It can be incredibly rewarding, and by cultivating the right mindset and understanding the pros and cons, you will be well prepared to start this journey. And so, uh, I applaud you for making this far. Thank you so much for listening, and see you in the next one.